exactly. So that's what I was trying to do, and it was okay. I mean, she can tell. I mean, kids are like little antenna, they pick up on everything, But considering she was great, and we just have to make sure that even though when we watch the news and when you hear about everything that's going on, it's scary, So we have to make sure that we just portray positivity and safety for our kids, and we're really trying to do that.
Well, I've been cooking at home a lot lately, and I know you like cooking at home too. How have you been getting your groceries? And have you ran out of toilet paper yet?
We have not run out of toilet paper because again, we really wanted to be kind of set up for these initial weeks with our newborn, which was a big benefit to us that we were already preparing for that. But I get it. I mean, I do a ton of cooking at home, and especially now, I feel like I'm running a school, running a restaurant, and and then also working and doing these wonderful things like talking to you guys. So it's been busy and surreal, but we haven't. I've been figuring out a lot of ways to make our food stretch. I've always been really into, and all the different kind of videos I do on my social media is all about food preparation.
Hmm.
And especially because that's something that I naturally have a knack for and I like to share on my platform. I already had some really great tips on having to extend the amount of food that we have, which is something we're all having to
That's
do now.
great for
Give me like one
sure.
tip to extend something that you can help the viewers with.
For me, one thing that I learned very quickly was when you're freezing protein, you don't, like, as example, a bunch of chicken breasts, you don't want to freeze them in a big clump because then you have to defrost all of them. And once you
Yeah.
defrost them, you want to use them. So I've been, you want to freeze your chicken breasts individually as much as possible. So you just have to defrost what you need.
Yeah.
Good tip.
So
That is
smart.
awesome.
That really
And I
is.
do that with all of my protein, whether it's fish or meat or steak or whatever it is. I like to do these smaller portions, so then you can
So
just thaw
smart.
out what you need. That's been really helpful.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not wasteful.
I was just asking the girls about that, minimizing the trips to the grocery store by, getting more creative with what you have at home that lasts long. So give me another tip when it comes to like baking. What do you do to preserve or prolong something with baking?
Well, a lot of my grains, I actually, and different flours and stuff. If you have room in your freezer, keeping them in the freezer is great. But a lot of
Yeah.
people don't really have that capability. But if you can, that stuff's great. Also, I like really simple things like making biscuits and things like that. Anything that
Oh,
makes my family feel like we're not having so much
yeah.
quarantine cuisine,
Right.
Yeah.
I
Some
try to do.
home.
So anything I
Quarantine
can do,
cuisine.
quarantine cuisine,
You made it sound so
anything
much better already.
anything I can do, exactly, like anything I can do to try to make it, give it a little bit of a twist or make it a little more gourmet, I really try to do. So even if it's using frozen green beans that we all know they're kind of like wilty and not the best to cook with, even if you chop them up in smaller pieces so they're a little more firm, add some toasted nuts and little things like
So
that.
great.
Those little tips just
Yeah.
kind of elevate it a little bit more, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you don't always feel like, and making something like a simple biscuit from things you already have in your pantry that's fresh, it makes you feel like you're not eating so much from the freezer or the
Absolutely.
pantry.